Today I'm going to create a vintage inspired Christmas tablescape. I'm Nicole for the Door on the Table, and I had the idea to create a vintage inspired tablescape when I came across linens that I've inherited from my Nana. Now, if you've watched any of my previous videos, you might have noticed that I've mentioned that the china I've inherited from my Nana. She passed away about 13 years ago. But not only did I inherit her china, I also got a few silver pieces, I believe some crystal, and of course table linens. So I've got some tablecloths, some napkins, and some placemats. So when I was taking all of this Christmas stuff out, I came across a set of placemats that I love. And I just, I felt the need and desire to create a tablescape around them. You'll notice as soon as you watch the video that they are very vintage feeling. The colors in them and the scene that's on them. They're not something you're going to find in stores today. But it also made me think, I shouldn't just use the placemat. Almost everything on the table needs to be vintage or vintage inspired. So what I'm incorporating in the table is everything that I've either inherited, has been gifted to me by somebody who they inherited those items, or I found it in an estate sale. And I believe the only thing that is not vintage will be some white candles that I did need to go buy. The other thing that's a little different about this video is I usually do all of my videos in my dining room, around my dining room table. But because I only inherited 4 placemats, I really felt the need that it will work better on my kitchen table, which is square, and fits 4 people perfectly. So I'm doing this actually on my kitchen table. I hope you enjoy the video. I hope it inspires you to pull out some of those vintage items that you've inherited and to create a Christmas tablescape around them. Because my kitchen table isn't really a vintage feeling table, I thought I would start with a foundation tablecloth. And I absolutely love this one because it's sheer and has this gorgeous white embroidered pattern on it. I believe it kind of makes me think of reindeer and trees, so it's perfect for the holiday season. I also wasn't very worried about the wrinkles because they're mostly going to be covered up. Look at these placemats. This is what I'm telling you. I love these. I mean, look at that sleigh being pulled by the horses. Doesn't this just scream vintage to you? I love that my Nana had these and that I got to inherit them. Next, I'm adding these fabulous thick green glasses. I picked these up in an estate sale for I think $1 a piece, and I just love how they match that green that's in the placemat. Next, I'm adding these clear glass plates with this silver design. Are these not the cutest little plates? And check this out, the matching sorbet glasses and this silver rim around them. I love this combination. In fact, I actually was gifted these by a neighbor before she moved. I believe they belong to her mother or her grandmother, so they are definitely vintage dishes, and they are perfect for this place setting. Now, of course, I could have opted for big plates, but I did not want to hide the scene that is on these placemats. I really wanted these placemats to be the focal point and the star of this vintage tablescape. I found these green napkins at an estate sale, a different one than where I found the glasses, but they actually match perfectly. And I mean, do these not scream vintage to you with that design that's on them? And I decided to pair them with this. Makes me think of a snowflake napkin ring. I really don't even know where I picked that up from. Now, to fold the napkin, I decided to fold it into a square. And then I took one of the corners and brought it to the bottom of the fold. I flipped it over and I did the same thing on the other side. So I've created a triangle. And then where that triangle opens in the middle, I'm going to slide the napkin ring over the top of it and just pull it about halfway down. And then I'm going to take those two ends that are showing and fan them out just in a very loose manner. And then I'm going to put the napkin with the napkin ring up on the top left of my place setting. I'm adding a spoon from the silverware that I inherited from my mom because I just love the sleek lines of it. For the centerpiece, I am going to use these angel chimes. I don't know about you, but I know we had these when I was a kid, and they are definitely very vintage, feeling vintage inspired. And I love that the instructions are inside of the box. I do not know how long I've had these angel chimes. They are not new, but you can actually buy these right now at World Market. I'll put the link down below for you. Now, as I mentioned, there was one thing I did need to buy, and that was I needed more candles for my angel chimes, which, as I mentioned, it's available at World Market, and the candles are too. So this is the one new thing I bought for this table. Next, I decided to add these sweet toothpick holders. I love these little toothpick holders. You can find them at estate sales all of the time, but I like them because I can use them as bud vases, little tiny bud vases as well. Next is the salt and pepper shakers. I actually inherited these from my Nana along with a little silver tray that holds them. They're the sweetest little pairing, and just putting it on my table really definitely makes you feel like it's a vintage tablescape. I have two of these trees, and they're not really vintage, I don't think, but they definitely are vintage inspired. I got these from an estate sale a couple of years ago. I love that they light up, but that's also one of the reasons why I don't think they're that vintage, but they definitely, again, it's about being vintage inspired. I inherited this cut glass dish from my Nana. It was honestly my most favorite thing that I inherited from her. I absolutely love it, how it catches the light and the design on it. And then I decided to add these glass little candies. Again, I got these from an estate sale a while back. I don't know how vintage they are, but they definitely feel vintage to me. And so I thought it'd be really cute to put them in this little dish because it makes me feel like it's a candy dish. Okay, now check these out. I got these from my Nana as well. They are aren't these not the most precious little place card holders? There's angels, there's snowman, there's Santa, there's Mrs. Claus, there's elves. I absolutely love these, and there was no way that I could not put them on this vintage inspired table. So I decided to just take a square little piece of paper and I put the name of each of my guests on it and just slid it in the placeholder. And then I added one to the top left of each of my place settings. To me, it just kind of finished off the whole look of this tablescape. And it added a little bit of whimsy as well. I hope you enjoyed this vintage inspired tablescape. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss my next tablescape. Have a wonderful holiday with your friends and family.